I've known Nic Stone for several years and met her at a National Book Art Festival about banned books in 2023. Before I met her in 2023, I knew of her through her mom, Mildred Alexander, and I met Mildred through my fitness program activities. Upon knowing of my family's book-selling activities, Mildred told me her daughter, Nic, is a writer and author. At the time, our store did not carry young adult fiction books, so I was not aware of her work. But at a National Independent Bookseller conference, I inquired about Nic Stone, and my colleagues just fell over themselves with rave reviews of Nic's books, her work in schools and around the country, and how pleasant she is to work with. Nic's impact is felt around the country as a New York Times bestselling author and one who is acutely attuned to the city and the culture of Atlanta. When Nic shared that she would be publishing her first adult novel with Simon & Schuster, we expressed our support and interest in participating in the launch. We are so proud to be here and honored to be a part of the program. Kimberly Jones, our moderator this evening, is an author of several titles, including How We Can Win, Race History, Changing the Money Game, That Is Rigged, and a number of other titles. My first introduction to Kimberly Jones was at our bookstore to host a book signing event for her book, Why We Fly. At the time, she mentioned working at a bookstore during an early part of her literary journey. I thought of offering her a position at our store, but thought that she had so much going on, author, activist, literary agent, so I passed on asking her if she was interested in working with us. She's more talented than that, so we passed on that. But one of the things I wanted to mention, one of the many things that impressed me about Kimberly is an exchange we had at Author Talk event with Yolanda Williams. During a conversation, Yolanda asked Kimberly this question: if Black people selected her, Kimberly, to make one request of the Almighty, what would that be? After a thoughtful pause, her answer was Black romance. Black romance. I must tell you, this answer shook me because it opened a page, a chapter in the beautiful 30-year marriage I have to my lovely wife, Cheryl, and my family. It reminded me of more of our relationships, the courtship, the attraction, and the purpose. Every time I see Kimberly, I remind her of the impact that statement had on my life. For these reasons, this introduction is special to me because I love these two women from a distance. I am honored to be in their presence. So if you feel any kind of way about these two women as I do, I ask that you stand and give a huge round of applause to the author of Boomtown, Nic Stone, and our moderator, Kimberly Jones.
You got me misty already. We just started. Goodness gracious.
You know how long I worked on my makeup and you're like trying to get me crying already?
Can we just like take him everywhere we go on the road, Nic?
Certainly with it. Oh my God, my niece just came in.
Oh my goodness, she's a little one.
Hi, Brooke. Hi, Tiff.
Hey, Tiffany. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get started because I'm already like misty and excited to see them. It's a lot happening. I'm overstimulated. I'm neurodivergent. Y'all work with me. Boomtown.
Yay, same.
Boomtown. Y'all don't understand. Like, I appreciate his introduction because the way I feel about this young lady, she is my book child. And we have had a running joke for years when we've worked together that, like, I'm her book mom. And so to see over the years the young lady that she has turned out into, I am like such a proud mama. And now she's writing this. This is good. Oh my God, this is a page turner. This is delicious and nutritious, good for you and good to you. let's just jump right in. How'd you pick the name Boomtown?
I have no idea. What's funny, like I'm usually, now first of all, she keep calling me a young lady. I am 40 years old, by the way.
Nobody knows that, girl.
I'm just saying. So I don't know. And I'm really bad at titles, typically. Like, I have a kid's book called Clean Getaway that was originally called, like, Where the Road Ends, which is so depressing, right? So, like, usually in the children's world, they don't let me pick titles.
Me either.
At all, because but I don't know. The impetus for this story, so this story comes from Shade. I have a writing colleague, an associate, as we would have called it back in 1990s middle school, because you got your friends and you got your associates.
Yes.
So this is an associate, and she is not African American. And I remember talking to her one day, and she was like, you know what, I really want to write a novel about a black strip club. I was like, and will not.
Ma'am, that's not your ministry.
But that's where the idea came from.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, I have to do this so that she cannot. Or at least I need to do it first. Like, ma'am, have you been to a black strip club? What are we even talking about right now?
Do you know somebody at the strip club?
Probably not, right?
Right.
So I don't know where it came from, though. Like, there was something about the name that just popped into my head, and it worked.
No, it definitely works for the story, and here's the one thing I always love about a good Nic Stone book, and I was very curious to see what that would look like in an adult novel, because I'm so used to you writing middle grade and YA, and I was like, what will that Nic rhythm look like in an adult book? And of course it worked. Is it insulting to say it almost works better in adult?
I would hope that every book that I have is better than the previous one.
Okay, so like, because just you're such a like sneakerhead. People who know you're a super sneakerhead, hip hop head, all that jazz. And so I always feel like, which is why I like the title Boomtown, that you can feel the rhythm in your books.
Yeah.
They're very rhythmic. And so this even more so, like, that's why I was like, the whole time I'm reading it, it was like, in a sense, it was inspirationally vibrating in my hand. Like I could feel the speakers in the book, right?
T.
and that's why Boomtown made 6, because of the rhythm of the city of it. And it's so, you can only be from Atlanta to write this book.
It is so Atlanta, y'all. It's like my love letter to the city. It's butt cheeks clapping over lemon pepper wings. Like, we out here. I'm pretty sure the only children in the audience are mine, so we're gonna go there.
Yes.
Right, know their mother well.
It's like butt cheeks and lemon pepper.
Yes.
Mixed with Gone Girl.
And trap music.
And trap music.
And trapping.
And then still socially conscious.
I mean, that's life.
Yeah. Still has a beautiful message. We were talking backstage, and I was like, the dope thing about it is that the message is there, it's clear on the page, but it's not heavy. And it's you definitely put the medicine in the food. Like, this really tastes good to you, but there's no way you can't walk away without empathy for our girls when you finish this book. So how did that process go as you were trying to weave it in? Were there moments where you're like, that's too heavy, let me remix it and find a way?
I mean, there were moments that weren't heavy enough, right? Like, coming from writing children's books, and now I'm in this space where, like, grown people can handle a little bit more. I don't got to teach nobody nothing. I don't have to worry about it getting banned. Like I said, the only children in the audience are mine, and I gave one of them the finger earlier, so they're not surprised. And so there's this, I got to, like, spread my wings a little bit, right? And so as I was writing, it was vitally important to me that, despite the fact that this is a book about sex work and sex workers, at no point are these women only objectified, right? Like, they had to come across as people on the page in order for me to feel successful. So I got a lot of really intensive reads. Like, I hired the director of the Women's Center at UVA to read and critique this book. Her name is Dr. Chanel Craft Tanner, and she is just incredible. And so she, like, read it through this PhD level Black feminist lens, like anything. And she was impressed. There were some things where she was like, you might want to rephrase this and that sort of thing. But the most important thing to me is the humanity of Black women, period. Like in life, like I think Black women are the pinnacle of creation, like period. So making sure that that was evident on the page was really important to me. And with the heavier stuff, you know, life is life, and balancing heavy with levity is really important too. So there's some moments in there where you will probably laugh out loud. Like there's a lot of like super ridiculous stuff, because what is life without ridiculousness? I'm in sneakers and a prom dress right now, for instance. But I really did, I can't say I enjoyed the revision part because I had to do it in like 2 weeks. I literally hit the end, closed my computer, jumped off the couch, ran, and threw up. Like, that was the intensity that I experienced editing the book. But yeah, I'm proud of it.
You should be.
Thank you.
Good.
Hey.
Like, it's really, really good. Let's talk about Miss Lyric.
Oh.
I love her so much. Because I know a lot of y'all just got it today, so I'm trying to make sure I don't, like, give stuff away or have any spoilers and stuff like that. It's so hard, because I want to be like,
Yeah.
everything that's happening. Lyric is so three-dimensional, and we've talked about this before, like, this ideology that we've heard sometimes when people say they don't want to hear the sex worker story. They don't want to hear the hood girl story. They don't want to hear marginalized people's story because they've heard it all before. And both of our argument has always been, you haven't heard it in a three-dimensional way.
You also haven't actually heard it.
You haven't actually heard it. You've heard caricatures of it.
Correct.
And you also transfer what you've seen in TV film to literature because they're not on a literary page. And when they're in TV and film, they're one-dimensional. Yep. So you haven't actually heard you've seen a caricature of them on there, because people don't realize that in the strip clubs, in the hood, in middle class working Black neighborhoods, you have everything that you have everywhere else. You have the neighborhood nerd. You do have the person who's trapping and rapping. You do have the person that's a little bit ratchet, but Black girls are the architect of cool. Like, we're creating and inventing in a way all the time. And so I love that Lyric was so three-dimensional, that she was so smart.
Yeah.
That she was so smart, and it's her intellect that, like, guides the story. So despite what someone would minimize her to of being a sex worker, she's like the smartest brain in the book.
Yeah, guys, sex workers are really smart. They have to be. I think that, so part of the reason I really wanted to write this book, so my father, hi Daddy. I love him so much. Thanks, Dad. So when I was like a little girl, my dad worked in the permits unit at the DeKalb County Police Department, right? And so like he was responsible for fingerprinting dancers when they were coming in for their permits. So I was constantly meeting these like beautiful women with these big fake boobs. But they were always so like sweet to me. Like they would like squat, they'd be like, oh my God, you're so cute. And like, I didn't know what was happening. I had no idea what they did for a living. But as I got older, I learned a little bit more. And then when I was 21, 22-ish, I was a personal trainer, and I had a couple of clients who were dancers. And just, they'd be doing squats, telling me about some dude they had to punch at the club last night because he got a little too crazy. And so I'm like listening to these stories, and I'm hearing the humanity of these women. Mm-hmm. And there was something about that I was just so intrigued. And so I've for a long time, I hadn't figured out exactly how to approach writing about dancers because it's been kind of a through line. I remember being in my mid-20s, and one of my best friends from high school was dating a dancer who was working to pay her way through her master's of social work, right? And she loved dancing, like loved it. She would always talk about how empowering it was. And so I'm listening to these different women. I'm coming to understand their different backgrounds, their different interests in dance, and like why they were doing it. And there was something about it that just like they were some of the smartest people I'd ever met. They were some of the coolest, like most down to earth. And it was like, take no shit, and also, we'll take all your money. And there was something really cool to me about that. And so this whole project is all about humanizing people who are human and who are smart and who have brilliant minds and honestly have more money than most of us.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's funny. Is LaJill here? LaJill, are you here? Where's she at? So me and LaJill went to a women's empowerment brunch at Magic City a couple weeks ago.
Why didn't you invite me? I need to be invited next time, please.
Yes, we went. When I tell you we had a ball, it was some of the most powerful women in the city of Atlanta at Magic City, and they would stop the music like every 15. We have to hook you up with the promoter so you could do the
Please do.
Does this make sense now? We didn't know what to expect, and so it was a regular Saturday afternoon in Magic City. People were dancing, girls was getting their money, but they invited 40 powerhouse women from the city of Atlanta to network in the club, and every 15 minutes they would stop the music, and one of the women would give like a short motivational speech and then talk about who she was and what businesses she had and all of that kind of stuff. Child, the dancers were like coming over and talking to all of us who spoke, because I spoke first. I had me a good time. The dancers were coming over, and we were floored because they were like, yes, so I'm getting my master's in engineering, and I just graduated from CAU, and then I just got a new job doing this that's starting next week. And I was just like, the future of Atlanta is up there on that stage.
Swinging around that pole, okay?
And it wasn't shocking to me because I've been living in Atlanta since '95. I know strippers get money and degrees, but it was the room of women who ordinarily you would think would judge these women being in their space and having to submit their egos to be in their space, and then coming together and us as a collective being like, hey, little sister, I see you. Oh, you got an engineering degree? Well, that one over there is an architect who's a guest. This dancer is gonna be an architect. Y'all should link up. And so bridging this gap of communication between those who think they are above and those who think they are below and realize that it's leveled was like such an important moment, and I feel like Boomtown does that. And I feel like this is another, like, you sure it ain't gonna get banned?
Who gonna ban it?
The Cheeto in Chief.
What's that man name? Ronnie D. Ron
Yeah.
DeSantis, he probably gonna ban it from the state of Florida.
Yeah.
But he don't read, so I don't even care. Whatever, bro.
Yeah, no, this is true. Because I want you to talk about your message in terms of lost girls, because the number of Black women who go missing every year and no one is searching for them, and they are not on the milk cartons, and they are not getting the press, and no one is rounding up posses in 48 hours to find them. That message is weaved so intricately, and I love that what you're telling people is that it can't be connected to respectability politics.
Boop. Well, first, I need to shout out the one and only Tiffany D. Jackson, who was standing at the back of the room.
Tiffany! And that cute baby.
With my gorgeous niece, Brooklyn. And I'm shouting Tiffany out because Monday's Not Coming changed. Like, I'm getting
'Cause it's
chills just
brilliant.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was on a train when I finished that book. I was so mad at my friend and also so impressed. And it's like Monday's Not Coming. After reading that book, I really wanted, okay, so it was a combination of like, so I read Monday's Not Coming and it planted this thing, right? Where it's like, it's so true that Black girls go missing and nobody looks for them, right? And then the Gabby Petito thing happened. Yeah, I was so irritated. I know that's a terrible thing to say aloud. And I wasn't irritated about the fact that people wanted her to be found. I was more irritated about a combination of the voyeurism and the fact that like everybody is so up in arms about it. And I'm like, I had been in Hawaii the year before, and I saw a flyer in Hawaii for this Black girl that had gone missing near one of the black sand beaches. And like, it just was, I mean, obviously it's Hawaii, but it was one of those things that I'm like, I wonder who has actually looked for her, like, because she had been missing for years. But the number of girls that go missing, I got a DM, y'all. I got a DM earlier this year about a girl who went missing in Gwinnett County, and they could not get the cops to do anything about it. She turned up, thank goodness. But it was just one of those things where, like, when I was writing this book, the one thing that I knew for sure is that Black women are going to cape for Black women. So let me make sure we going to go find us. And the aim was to empower us to not only look for us, but to see ourselves as valuable through the eyes of each other. Because we what we got, you know what I'm saying?
We are all we got. And I also just want to say, the other thing that I loved about this book was the language. Because the language, I've watched how you matured the language, different from all of your YA stuff and your middle grade stuff, but also it was still accessible, which I felt like would be important for this book, that it could be lyrical, it could be literary, but it also had to be accessible. I feel like I can put this in the hands of a 19-year-old college girl, and she will feel seen and heard on the page, but not trying too hard. Like I'm trying to be cool and sound like it sounds natural and authentic to our voice, which is why it's important that you wrote this book and not that girl, because child, the things that would have been wrong. But it's very culturally rich. And you know, I always say the way we speak is cultural, not remedial, because we have changed the etymology of language more than anybody. I mean, even if you say put your hands together, that comes from 1920s jazz slang. It's graduated so much we don't even know, because when you think about it from an English perspective, the structure of that sentence doesn't make sense. It's because it's slang. And so the way in which you used language and the way in which all your characters sound so different, none of them sound the same.
That was hard.
Yeah,
That was
none
hard.
of them sound the same. What was that process like? Did you do like a really hardcore, like fantasy level beat sheet to start separating their personalities?
No, not at all. I mean, for me, language is a function of character. So knowing who each person was is what helped me nail their language. I like to, in the YA space, I write books for reluctant readers. Like the whole aim of what I'm writing is to get kids specifically who think they don't like to read to realize they do. They just hadn't found the right book.
Right.
I'm doing the same thing. My aim with Boomtown is to get people who have never read a book before to pick up a book and read it, right? And like be lost in it and be like, oh dang, I didn't know books could hit like this. Oh, okay. Like, and so with the language, you know, I have really interesting conversations with high schoolers about code switching, right? Because some of them they think of code switching as something to oppose because they think of it as like stifling. And I'm like, no, babe, you code switch quite literally thousands of times a day.
Even between your parents and your friends.
Correct. The way you talk to your parents and the way you talk to your friends is different. The way you talk to these friends and the way you talk to these friends is different. So I thought about all the different people that I interact with, right? Like, I got my trap star that I interact with. I got my dancer friends. I got my lawyer friends. I got my doctor friends. Like, it's like you have these different people. The literary types are the most fun. That's when you bust out the SAT words. But like people underestimate the power of having an extensive vocabulary. And when I say extensive vocabulary, I'm not just talking about, you know, being able to use the word, that's not a word. Let's see, indefatigable, right?
Yeah.
And unable to be fatigued. Like, I can use that in a sentence.
Yeah.
But I can also use some other words in a sentence. And so it's important to read widely, watch widely, and just collect words. Like that's how you build your vocabulary. You build your vocabulary by listening to different types of music, listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks, reading, watching TV. Anything involving words, you can absorb those words, and the extension of vocabulary means an extension of knowledge. That's why I want people to read. Because when you extend your vocabulary, you're able to extend the things you can learn about. You're able to extend what you understand. Because all understanding is language-based.
Yeah.
So it's fun playing with these different characters and like thinking about how they would say a thing.
Yeah, I love it. I think also like one of the things that you did really well in the book is making sure that the language expressed the right emotion. Because I was talking about this with a friend the other day, and I was like, exactly what you're saying. If you don't have that expression of language, you will actually be misunderstood, or you can actually insult by not having that language. So like if you were to say to me, Kim, you have an issue with jealousy. Like, I know deep down rooted if I do have an issue with jealousy, and I know that if I don't. But if what you're actually trying to identify is that I can be sometimes territorial.
Yeah.
Right? When I hear jealousy, I automatically cut you off because I'm like, I'm not a jealous person. But if you actually said, Kim, sometimes you can be territorial, I'd be like, well, there might be some truth to that. You know what I mean? And those are two very distinctive words that mean two very different things.
Yeah.
But jealous is the only like word you have in your canon, then the fight gets lost because what you're trying to identify is not what I'm actually hearing.
Word.
Yeah, and you did a really good job of that in the book, being very clear, especially, Miss Josephine.
Oh, Lady Josephine.
Lady Josephine, oh my God.
So, fun fact, Lady Josephine originally was a man named Josiah.
Go on.
Yes. So this book changed a lot during revision. Like, it was during revision that I decided that every person who spoke needed to be a black woman. Because the first draft, there were two, like, white male perspectives. One was this unhoused man named Josiah, and the other was the antagonist, who's this dude named Thomas. Boo, Thomas. But as I was revising, I was like, nah, that's not working. And so I changed Josiah to a woman named Lady Josephine. And she's an older black woman. She's unhoused. She's got some addiction issues. She's an alcoholic, and she lives in a tent that's pitched up above this cove along the Chattahoochee River. And like, you don't actually hear from her that much, but I guarantee you she will stick with you. Because of everybody in the book, I think she's the person who has stuck with me the most. And it is partially because of her voice.
She felt very Shakespearean to me.
Do tell.
Yeah, because I felt like Josephine was like the narrator and the crier that you always get in Shakespeare that ties the pieces together.
Although that Shakespeare reading paid off.
And it doesn't require that you see them a lot. It just requires when they show up in the moments where they need to like tie things up in a bow. And I won't go into too many details, but like especially at the end, I was just like, oh, now I see why she was a tool. She makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
You guys want to hear some of this? Yes. Has anybody read it already? Oh, hey, y'all, look at Shaw.
You don't count.
Listen, when my mama read it and liked it, I was like, did that. Okay, let's see. All right, so we'll start with, I'll read 3 different voices, and I promise it won't take long, because I won't read a whole lot from them. So we'll start with page 1, Thursday, June 5th. All Lady Josephine wants is to get back to her camp. She got turned around somewhere, and all the trees look the same here. Also, her stomach hurts. She stopped getting her monthlies a while ago, so that's certainly not the issue. Plus, her head hurts too. What had the guys at the Lee Street Bridge given her in that bottle? There's a noise behind her, so she turns around. Too fast. Her arm brushes something scratchy, and then there's a dull throb in her shoulder as the wind is knocked from her thin frame. The dusky sky blurs into focus overhead. She's got to find her camp before the sun's all the way down. She's a tough old broad for sure, Lady Josephine, but it don't feel safe out in these woods at night. She shuts her eyes then, even though she shouldn't. The river's nearby. She can hear it. Her camp is near the river, just inside the tree line, a small ways up from the little alcove where she takes her baths. She can follow the river. She struggles to her feet, and as she stumbles along, zigzagging a bit, though she tries to walk a straight line, her gut swims. Maybe shouldn't have drunk that stuff. Those guys seemed nicer than most, but maybe they thought she'd hang out for a while and they'd get lucky. Most men are like that, at least the ones she's met. She drifts left and slips into the water, but catches herself. Only her shoe and her pant leg get wet, up to the knee. There's a crop of pines ahead on the opposite bank that look familiar, she thinks. She gets to humming Sweet Love by Anita Baker. It's been in her head for some time now. Heard it when coming out of the convenience store where she spends most of her daytime hours. The owners are real nice and don't mind her presence so long as she stays outside. They even let her use the bathrooms from time to time. The car playing the song had been turning into the parking lot of the Gentlemen's Club across the street. Lady Josephine had done some dirty dancing back in her day, but rarely for gentlemen, and never in a place as fancy looking as that boomtown. Even had a neon light in the shape of a girl holding on to a pole. She can't remember ever seeing the parking lot empty. She was really something back in the day, Lady Josephine was. Slender and brown skin with a head full of, quote, good hair, as they used to call it. One of the most sought-after call girls in all of Atlanta. Though even with that profession, she tried to always do the right thing. Sweet Love had been her favorite song. She doesn't like to think about the old times, but reminders sneak up. Just the other day, Lady Josephine overheard a woman talking on her cell phone about girls going missing. Said that if the girls were black, no one would look for them. Made Lady Josephine real sad. It was certainly true that nobody had ever looked for her. She wishes she had another drink. Lady Josephine trips over her own feet and goes down hard, right into the ice-cold water. The burn in her nostrils kicks her will to survive into gear. That's something she's never managed to shake, no matter how bad things got. The water is shallow here. If she could just get her feet up under her. Her hand reaches for something jutting up out of the water on her right, and by the time her senses have caught up, she's sitting on a rock ledge, soaked and shivering. Something red in the water catches Lady Josephine's eye. It's bigger than the average piece of junk that washes up on these Chattahoochee shores, and trapped in an outcropping of rock that some part of her recognizes. She looks over her shoulder and sees the bright blue of her tent just beyond the tree line. Well, look at God. Her attention is pulled back to the red. It's fabric, she realizes, ballooned so it's all she can see above the waterline. The current pushes it against the rocks, and more of it breaks the surface. An arm. Lady Josephine leans over and vomits into the river.
I had written down questions like an adult, but they're in my purse.
We don't need those. Okay, this is lyric. I have no idea how to approach the boy because Guapa was right. His vibe is definitely giving childlike. When Guapa came banging on the bathroom door to tell me there was somebody here looking for charm, I'd rolled my eyes. Figured it was some guy who'd seen her on the daytime shift and come back for more. She had that effect on a handful of them. You ain't tell him she's not here? I replied through the door. Of course I told him that lyric, and he responded by asking to speak to the manager like some disgruntled middle-aged white lady. I was about to tell him to take a hike, but then it hit me that he used Charm's real name. My whole body went hot. I quickly finished my business, pulled my dress down, washed my hands, and came out, pulling the door shut behind me. Come again now? It's some little dude. Huh? A little dude? Had the girl been seeing someone? Or what if it was worse? What if she'd gotten herself caught up in some shit? One who's never been in a strip club before, Guapa went on. The way his eyes damn near jumped out his face when Knight walked past him made that clear. Can't be more than 21, and I'll only give him that because you got to have ID to get in here. You said he used her real name? Yeah. I'm looking for Damaris, is what he said. She ever call after not showing up for her shift this afternoon? Normally, I would have told the truth. Nah, she didn't. Which meant that if she happened to show up tomorrow, she'd get sent right back out the door. No call, no show equals no job. But somebody showing up and asking for a dancer by given name wasn't normal. I looked at my watch. Most would assume I do it for the clock, but 9 times out of 10, I'm checking my heart rate and ECG. The former was higher than it needed to be. I took a deep breath. So you gonna go talk to the kid? Can you chill? Damn, nosy ass. Though whoever the dude was, I definitely had to talk to him, if for no other reason than to find out how he knows Damaris. I just didn't expect him to look the way he does. He's definitely man-shaped, maybe 6'3", broad-shouldered and solid, his long locks neatly styled in a low ponytail of rope twists. It wouldn't surprise me to learn he's some sort of athlete, though nothing like the average one I encounter. There is a purity about him that irritates me to no end. It's in the way he stares straight ahead with his hands behind his back, like he's choosing not to indulge in the abundance of bare flesh baddies scattered about the space, doing hella impressive shit with their bodies. He clearly ain't here for a good time. I lift my chin as I approach. Let me guess, I say, crossing my arms, mostly to conceal my own flat chest. It's been over a year since my breasts were removed, and yes, I'm still a little insecure about it, especially up in here. You think one of my dancers stole your wallet. Oh, he almost looks away as I step into his space, but seems to think better of it. No, ma'am, this is my first time visiting your establishment. Ma'am? Whoa now, honey butt, you can't come up in here and have bitches feeling old. You did ask for a manager, didn't you? And then this is Lucky. I love Lucky. I could see T, though I didn't know his name yet, coming towards me as I moved away from the stage once the set was over. With the mood I was in, I hated him on sight. His presence felt like an invasion. Not that I had anything against white men in general, but I'd had more than enough encounters with ones like him, who moved as though nothing was immune to their will, to last a lifetime. Excuse me, he said from behind me as I went to speak to a group of attorney guys who frequented Town Hall Tuesdays. Excuse me, miss? I ignored him. As I laughed and flirted with the regulars, he hovered like Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost, all pale and conspicuous. I'd hoped he would take the hint and buzz off, but he wound up doing the opposite. Excuse me, Lucky? He said, taking a step closer. I looked over my shoulder. Yeah? My name is T. I'd like to request a dance from you. I'm not available right now. And I turned back to the group. Understood, he said. You mind telling me if you intend to avail yourself before the night is over? Avail myself? Who the fuck did this man think he was? I turned to face him fully. To you? I said. No, probably not. His eyebrows shot to his hairline. It gave me a little thrill. There were few things as satisfying as making it clear to a man who thinks he owns the world that he does not own me. I have a number of regulars here tonight that take priority. Well, how do I get on that list? He stared into my eyes. And though it was deeply unnerving, most guys I encountered at work couldn't keep their gaze above my neck for more than a couple of seconds. I also had a hunch he regularly used eye contact as a coercion tactic. But I really wasn't the one. Sir, I mean you no disrespect, but nothing about you says I should be a priority. Not over customers I've been entertaining for years. He held up a wad of money. $1,000 for a single dance, he said. Come on. Would the money have been great? Of course. But I refused to even look at it. I'm good, I said. Appreciate the offer, though. Hope you have a good night. And I turned to take my leave from him. The attorneys had moved to a booth and were throwing singles in the air while Twiz, Guapa, and Shine danced their asses off, the last making a clap over the table as a server delivered multiple orders of lemon pepper wings. Had to love Atlanta. I moved to join them. That shit I said about regulars hadn't been true at all. I just had no interest in sating this white man's tawdry little, I'm totally into black women visual fantasies. But the motherfucker grabbed my arm. He realized his mistake when I whipped around rage first. His hands went up in surrender, but I still stepped right into his face, finger raised. Don't ever put your fucking hands on me without my permission. Got it? Okay, my bad. Is there a problem here? One of the guards had approached us. Nah, there's no problem, Randy, I said, looking right into T's eyes. They were the murky green of a succulent plant. This patron and I just needed to come to an understanding, right, T? His head cocked just the slightest bit, and this time he did give me a once-over. When he met my gaze again, he looked impressed. Yeah, that's correct, he said. Another time then? It was a question I wasn't expecting. A challenge, even. I'd never been one to back down from a challenge. I think not, actually, I said. Though again, I appreciate the offer. I turned and walked away, knowing his eyes would be on me the whole time. And the more distance I put between us, the more bothered he would be that I hadn't given him what he wanted. What I didn't expect was the feeling that overtook me as I went, because that challenge had sparked something inside me, and I really hoped he would come back.
Well, I could sit up here with Nick and ramble on for days. However, you guys also, I guess, are here to see her or whatever. See? Territorial.
Territorial.
So if you guys have any questions, there's a microphone right here. Or if you're just loud and you want to stand up and yell, that's fine too. We all cousins.
Don't all get up at once. Also, shout out to the month of October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's why I'm wearing pink. There's a lot of boobs in this book.
A lot of them.
So we're going to shout it on out.
Celebrate the braziers.
Yes. I love this question. So the question was, how was my transition from YA to adult? Delightful, honey. Delightful. So there was a lot of, I kept getting asked when I was trying to sell this book, it's like, are you going to write under a different name? No, I'm not. Nic Stone is a grown-ass woman and is allowed to write books for grown-ups too. And it feels really good to just decide, I'm going to do what I want to do. And there are a lot of YA authors that have their noses turned up right now, but I'm like, you're just mad because you're not over here. Yeah.
You send me a list of who got their nose turned up.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine, honey. It's all good. We call this growing an audience.
So is your next book, what's it going to be?
My next book's YA, and the one after this, middle grade. But there is another adult book coming that I'm plotting right now, and it's going to be even better than this one, because it has to be. I can't write a book that's not better than the one before. But the next YA announces on Thursday, so I won't say anything about that one. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm excited. The next middle grade won't announce for a while, so I'm gonna say everything about it. The next middle grade is about, it's called Deja Forever, and it is about a 13-year-old black girl undergoing chemotherapy. It is The Fault in Our Stars meets From the Desk of Zoe Washington.
Oh, okay.
And I wrote it because black kids get cancer too. Yeah. And then we go back to like murder and sex and Atlanta and trapeze. Trapeze is something like trapeze is in the
Like
next
Trapeze the club?
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah.
I wish I hadn't responded so quickly like I know what
You really did, you really did.
that I read about on the internet.
Right. A good time, a good time.
I write adult now, so I'm...
And do. I mean, but I'm, for me, it's, I am, like, I've had people be like, why don't you just stay in your lane? And I literally said, bitch, I'm a highway.
Again, send a list.
I have a number of lanes, thank you.
Yeah.
Go sit down and stay in yours.
And we've all just dated, right? So we know what it's like to be a middle schooler. We know what it's like to be a teenager. We know what it's like to be an adult. And we know which voices were missing when we were at those
sure
level of gestations. Like, people don't realize we write the stories we wish we had.
1,000%. Mm-hmm. Yes.
How much time do you put into character development, and do you find inspiration in all the different characters that you've created?
So interestingly enough, character is the first thing that comes to me when I'm working on a book, because I'm obsessed with people. When people ask me for writing advice, one of the pieces I give is to be a little bit of a creep. And by that I mean people watch, eavesdrop, sit in a coffee shop. Y'all, my favorite thing to do in the world is to sit in Starbucks pretending to work and just listening to the people chatter around me. I was in there one time. There were these two ladies who were sitting, they got the little tiny table, right? So they were sitting, I'm by myself at my little tiny table, and they sat at the tiny table next to me. And at first they were talking about some like nonprofit gala or something. I was so bored. Where is the tea? We are in a coffee shop. There are rows and rows of tea. Why are you not giving me any? And then all of a sudden, I went to turn my music up, and the one who was kind of like diagonal from me goes, oh, by the way, I got divorced last week. And I was like, whoop. And the whole conversation, just writing it down. And there's something about just paying attention to people that that really helps with character development.
Oh no, I'm constantly minding people's personal business.
I'm
They
all
shouldn't be
in
talking about it
everybody's
so loud at the
business. Like, and
cafe.
look, if I ask you about your life, do not assume I'm going to put it in a book. I would not do that without your permission. I would ask first.
I love the old Anne Lamott statement. She said, you own your stories, you should write them. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better.
They should have been nice. Yo, there is definitely a character in this book who is in Boomtown that I am absolutely taking shots at a real person. And I really hope, even if that person doesn't read the book, I hope that people that know that person read the book, and they're like, ooh,
Oh, it will
because
get
it's
to them.
very obvious.
Yeah, it will get to
Like,
them.
I can't be sued because I changed the name slightly. Oh, I just relished every moment of writing that terrible, terrible person.
I love that. In the words of Blanche Devereaux, oh, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. We love Blanche.
I love Blanche. And if you wanted, if they had behaved better, someone would have wrote something warm and fond about them. They did not, so they shall not. You write your own stories. Come on, I know y'all got some. First of all, y'all are with a multiple New York Times best-selling, good-looking woman right here.
I spent a lot of time on my hair.
Y'all better take
So
this
much
moment to
time.
walk around in her mind.
Oh, you would leave so quick. Go ahead, darling.
Hello. I was wondering, what's something?
Is that Naisha?
Well, yes.
She's an adult now, Nick?
Clearly.
Okay,
Hey,
I wasn't
boo.
ready. Go ahead.
Hey, had to come and support. I wanted to know, like,
We've known this child since she was a child, and she used to run around the bookstore that I worked at.
Don't do her like that, Kimberly.
Adult her is very alarming to me. Go on.
what's something you learned about yourself writing an adult novel that you maybe didn't discover about yourself, like writing middle grade and YA?
Oh, not the zinger. So look, this is what I will say that I learned. It's less something that I learned about myself and more like writing this novel gave me, I finally felt like an artist. Like when I'm writing middle grade and young adult, when I was before, I should say, because I've written middle grade and young adult since writing Boomtown, and I write totally differently. Like it's a completely different experience. But when I was writing the books I wrote before I wrote Boomtown, there was almost this obligation to write in a very specific way and to make sure that like the language was right and that there were things in it that were teachable, et cetera, et cetera. It was almost this, it felt so much more obligatory. And in writing Boomtown, it's like, oh no, bitch, you're an artist. Like you make art with words. I've gotten super into visual arts lately. Frequently I am doing visual arts instead of writing the stuff I'm supposed to be writing. Whatever. But I love being an artist, and I will continue, and it's great. That was such a good question.
Thank you. And I will just say, you've always been a visual artist. I mean, even with your shoes, like you've always been like telling a story.
Oh, y'all hear this affirmation? Thank you, babe. It's so good to see you.
She's a grown-up, Nick.
I don't know why you got a problem with people aging. Yes, my love.
When you finish writing the book, do you have a grieving process, letting go of the characters and do you miss them? And if so, was that process harder writing an adult book?
Girl, hell no.
Yeah, they die once
I'd be
we
done.
close
I'd be
the
like,
page.
oh, the end, thank God.
No, me and Nick were Nick, I think you were the moderator. It was, what's the Haitian book the sisters wrote, their first book?
Oh, Maika and...
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember the name of it.
Yes, but their book, we did an event, and Nick was,
Maritza.
Maritza, Nick was our moderator. Nick played trivia with us about our books. We all lost trivia about our own books. I was
Listen,
like,
y'all, when we,
I was
like,
like,
when
who is
I'm
that
done,
character?
I'm
I
done.
wrote that? Wild. You gotta let them go.
I mean, I'm also just like, I am not an insecure person until it comes to writing. Like, people are like, oh my God, where do you get your confidence? I'm like, you should see me when I'm writing a book. There's none. Like, I'm just a mess, right? And so when you're trying to like achieve a thing and it feels like it's eluding you, and eventually you're like, screw this, I'm done. And then it turns out you actually nailed it. Like, that's a good feeling, but child, in the process, I just be ready to be done. Like, these women are cool, and I'm glad they exist here, and I hope they are living wonderful lives somewhere else.
They're like friends from elementary school.
Agreed.
Do I know where you are? Yes. Do I care? Not so much.
Yes, darling.
I feel like your writing always feels like an ode to Atlanta. As somebody who's from Atlanta, like I always, even reading like White Out, like I feel that. So what about this book gave you the most like, this is real Atlanta? Because if you're not from Atlanta, I always tell people like Atlanta is not real. It's not a real place.
It is not a real
Not a real
place.
place. That's not a real place.
So what about this book, or like what part of this book did you feel like this? I had to tell somebody this is Atlanta, this is Atlanta.
So, outside of lemon pepper wings. So there is a character in this book who wound up playing a much bigger part than I initially expected. She's a doctor. She is based on a really good friend of mine who I low-key had a massive crush on for a while. And her husband takes her to the strip club on date nights. Like, if that's not Atlanta, I don't know what is.
That's a good time.
It is. I love a date night at the Cheetah. I'm not gonna lie. The lamb chops go all the way off.
Oh, the cheetah.
Listen, if you're a Cheetah fan, they are not closing until next December. Okay.
So get your cheetah
there is
in
time.
while
Get
you
your
can.
cheetah on while
Best lamb chops
you
in
have the
town.
time. If you want to go with me, holler at me. We can go together. Okay.
There's 3 places in Atlanta that if you have never been, it's not even about going to see strip clubs. It's about a cultural experience. You have to go to the Cheetah.
Yep.
You have to go to Magic City.
Yep.
And you have to go to the Claremont Lounge.
And no.
You got to go down there and see Blondie. Now, she only got 4 steps in her.
I will pass. So what's funny, there's a place.
But she going to give you them 4 steps.
I would replace Claremont Lounge with Strokers.
Oh, you do?
personally.
First of all, we're not trying to get shot to go to the strip club. Strokers.
Do not. Strokers is everything.
Oh,
I
Blue
love
Flame,
Strokers.
too. You got to go to the Flame before you leave it. I'm sorry. Moving on. I'm almost embarrassed about how much I know about strip clubs in Atlanta.
I wrote my strip club visits off on my taxes because this was research.
Yeah.
Okay, stop playing with me.
Yes. You know what I like about strokers? How they come around with the dustpan and sweep up the money?
Listen, my favorite thing at strokers
I saw that on the Instagram post.
I like the lollipop tipped hookah tip.
Yes.
The lollipop.
That I heard
Guys,
they
my
had
kids
from
are here,
somebody.
by the way. And they know mommy does like to go to the strip club.
Yeah.
We
It's
are
a
very
cultural
honest with our
experience.
children.
It's not the same in Atlanta that it is. It's a cultural experience.
It is
and
a thing, yeah.
For the record, Magic City has the best food. Their chef is,
Chef's kiss.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have like a takeout window that if you don't want to go to the club, you can just walk up to the takeout window, order your food. It's on Uber. Magic City is on
Uber Eats. We lit. You know what I'm saying? I need a ladies' night. Who's coming? We're gonna go. Look, and Will. Okay. We might go to Cheetah when we leave here.
Yes. So it's gonna. I'm gonna hook you with the promoter from Magic City. We're gonna make it official. Boomtown Book Club.
No,
Magic
please.
City.
Yes.
Doing it.
Brittany.
Litty in the city. Be for educational purposes.
Liddy titty in the city.
Yes.
Okay?
This has gone unhinged. Okay.
That is what I am. Beautiful Brittany.
Since we are unhinged, let's stay here.
Yes.
Just curious,
look, I'm really bad at naming books, so I think I'd be even worse at naming myself as a stripper. Somebody else come up with one for me. How about that?
What's one of those formulas, like the last street that you lived on or something like that?
It would be like if it was like the last street I live on the month, it would be like Northrop July. Like, that's not sexy at all. You know.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Northy. Go ahead.
So I really love the way that you described the women in the book.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, what was the inspiration for that? Because you mentioned the doctor.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, I felt like I was in the club when you were describing.
Ew.
It was very descriptive, but it felt like it was inspired by me.
Yes, I'm like half gay, is really what it is.
Is that a term?
Bisexual, like half gay, bisexual, tomato, whatever,
It is now. You have coined that
half gay.
tonight.
And did.
Print the T-shirt.
Yes. No, but I'm not kidding when I say that Black women are the pinnacle of creation. Like, just women are amazing, especially ones that are melanated and like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite research memories that I will not get too far into because my children are here, was at Strokers. And like, there's just this woman, like, in my lap, telling me her life story with nothing on. It was just like, just sitting there. She's like, oh, I just really love dancing for you, girl. You just so, like, interested in me. And am, honey, tell me all the things.
The research.
It was great, you know, like, and I'm just like, I should write another one of these.
Introducing trapeze.
I don't know what that is.
I was like the worst person you could have picked for this book. You should have
perfect-
got like an adult, a real grown-up.
It would have been so boring with a real grown-up. Do we have time for more? How many more questions can we have? Oh, you guys got more questions?
That's why, you see,
Before we all go to the cheetah?
and get some lamb chops.
So I just want to say, I just had to do this. I had to just chat GPT, a stripper name for
This is amazing.
sneakers. So we got Airy, Page Turner Kits, Lace Fables, Sneaky Chapter,
I kind of like Lace Fables.
Penelope Pumps, and Plot Twist Laces.
Never.
ChatGPT, I could have came up with something better than that. My mind went to Jugs McGee.
Dark Dolly, you know what I'm saying? I'm your Dark Dolly.
I like it.
My poor children. Yes.
So I have a question about, earlier you mentioned about the accessibility of the book. It's like, what are you planning, like how are you getting this book into the hands of people that should be reading it? Who do you want really to hear this story? Like how are you going, because it is so accessible, but how are you planning on getting that to people that need it? Because I know that's already in the back of your mind.
I don't know.
Well, first of all, we're having an event at Magic City.
We will. Yes.
Step one.
Yes. I have a bookseller for us. Yeah.
Oh, God, poor 44th and 3rd.
No, but what I will
Not-
say, this is a book. It is written to Black women. It is for everybody because I want everybody to know how amazing Black women are and to stop being stupid and judgy about things that you shouldn't be stupid and judgy about. But yeah, I don't know Instagram. I don't know how people do this anymore. I have no idea. I was thinking the other day about book marketing, and I was like, why don't we do like book commercials and stuff? Like your
They used
traditional
to.
marketing, yeah.
They used to.
And now all people sell on commercials is like beer and Viagra. And I'm like, bro, there's so much more to life. Like books about strippers. Come on.
I like it.
If you guys are not following me on Instagram, I have been posting the most unhinged book promo content ever.
I like it. It's been good.
It's been a blast. I filmed it all inside Follies. Yes. I have so much more respect for pole dancers because, like, first, that thing spins mad fast, first of all. And second of all, like, upper body strength is wow. Wowzers.
No, they are gifted. The strength it takes.
Truly, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, we're going
They could
to
be in the
Cheetah when
Olympics.
we
There should be
leave here,
pole
guys.
dancing in the Olympics.
That would be amazing. They got break dancing. Why not?
They should. The breakdancing should stop. That was a spectacle.
It was hysterical, like hilariously hysterical.
Bad. I could have been in the breakdancing gold. Kim Jones, 50 years old, flailing on the ground.
Flailing.
Anybody else have a question?
All right. Oh,
Oh,
hello. You know what's wild? I am so anti-ritual and anti-routine that, like, I'm like the most chaotic person you will ever meet. There are multiple people in this room who can validate that. But I just pull my computer out whenever I have a free moment, essentially. When I first started writing, I had just had my first child. So I'd be like, baby on the boob, one hand, right? And learning how to write in chaos means that now I struggle to write when it's not chaotic. I have to like turn off the internet on my computer and put my phone across the room and then force myself to be on a timer for 30 to 45 minutes and write straight. Because, yeah, your girl will be buying new shoes instead. Or I'll be like, oh, I should go do some art. So no ritual, just chaos. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Oh, we got one more.
I did, yeah. So there are 5 narrators in the book, so there are 5 narrators on the audiobook, myself included. How anybody listens to my voice for that long is beyond me. But ego is like, no, what do you mean? I wrote it, I have to read something. So yeah, I read probably my favorite part of the book, I won't lie. Yeah, and I chose all the narrators, yeah. They're all like OG, super professional. And then there's me. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. Another big round of applause for the queen of Atlanta literature, Nic Stone.
Thanks, guys. All right, I'll see you guys at the Cheetah Lounge. Thanks.
I know everybody wants to stop Nic before she gets to that table, but let's let her get there, and then you can say, take pictures, do everything you want at that moment.